All right,
So
we're
you'll
now.
leave all my fuck ups, but won't leave your fuck up in there.
Correct. My fuck ups don't count. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to ADHD Gamer Presents the Podalorian. This is episode 5 for. Whoa, why you gotta do me like that? You know what? You're fucking fired. I'm done with you. I hope during your wedding, I hope you cry so bad that you have cardiac arrest. Anyway, listen, that made no sense what I just said. I am delirious as shit. Anyway, listen, this is episode 5 for us. This is going to be about episode 6, The Prisoner. Fuck it. Let's go ahead and jump right in, gentlemen. John, shall we?
You want to tell us about the podcast services?
No, I don't want to tell anybody about podcast services.
Okay.
We're everywhere.
You bitched about me on the previous podcast for not
because you didn't remind me to plug. Listen, I had to remind myself to plug
right now.
Yes, you reminded me on air. Yes, I guess I'll do it just because I'm being told to. No, because I'm being told to. I'll fucking do it. Anyway, listen, people. This is the Podalorian. You can check us on all podcast services for audio listening needs. Technically, it's audio everywhere. You can also check us on youtube.com/ADHD Gamer Podcast. And please check out our other show, ADHD Gamer, if you're into gaming news and pop culture stuff. Also, check us out on facebook.com/ADHD Gamer Podcast, and also instagram.com/ADHD Gamer Podcast. I believe. Is it podcast on there? Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, ADHD Gamer Podcast on Instagram. And once again, podcast services all around the world. You can check us out anywhere. There, are you happy now?
Dude, I'm super happy now.
That's all I needed. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters in this world to me.
Yep. Don't forget ADHD Gamer, our other podcast. So get on there, folks.
I definitely said that, but okay, keep going.
I don't know, man. I'm so tired. I'm talking.
Start the damn show.
I tried to say tired and sorry at the same fucking time.
You said Tari. I'm so Tari.
I'm so Tari.
I'm so Tari.
Word.
You did make up a new word. All video games are porn. All right, go ahead.
All right, so we open up with Chapter 6 of The Mandalorian and
The Prisoner.
And we just hop right into Mando landing on the space station. There's a bunch of people scuttling about in this beginning of this episode, and he gets off the ship and meets, I guess, an old friend of his. I did not find out the name of it, or at least I cannot remember. I think his name was Gran. I can't remember. Sorry.
I have it written down.
Ran. So
you get some other guy with a beard, right?
Yeah. I can't remember the actor's name, but
neither can I. He looks so freaking familiar.
He looks so familiar. Sons of Anarchy and shit like that, biker gang kind of stuff.
Mark Boone Jr.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what he's.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
But there was a lot of familiar faces in this episode, and
yes.
I guess we can go ahead and go over them because
like Mr. Bill Burr.
Mr. Bill Burr. That was literally the first time. I'm like, what the fuck is Bill Burr doing in here?
Dude, I didn't even notice that was Bill Burr.
Assassin.
I didn't even notice that was Bill Burr until the end when it's like, oh, also starring Bill Burr. That makes sense. That's who that fucking was.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's a lot of sci-fi, like history people from sci-fi in this show. Like the one that's playing the Twilight, I can't pronounce her name. It's like Zizir or whatever. The female Twi'lek who's a little fucking crazy. She is actually Nymphadora Tonks from Harry Potter. The big red. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yep. I kept looking at her. I'm like, I know who this woman is. I know who she is over and over and over again. Eventually, I just had to Google it. The big red-faced guy. I can't remember his race right now. It's like Dathronian or something like that. Yeah. Davronian. Yeah. So this guy, if you've ever watched a little movie called Starship Troopers or many other things, you would recognize this fella. He's got an iconic voice. He's done a lot of video game voice acting, stuff like that. So he was in there. Am I missing something? Oh, Zero. The
droid.
Yeah, that's Richard. I can't pronounce his name. Ayakla. That he's most notably from the British TV show The IT Crowd. Super funny dude. it's kind of seeing a pattern of comedians coming on here a lot on.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mandalorian.
Well, John Farber considers himself kind of a comedian. I mean, you look at him in Iron Man; he's super funny in most Iron Mans. So,
yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. I mean, maybe he's just picking out friends. Who knows?
And that's which I'm sure happenings. I mean, you look at stuff like what was the when Game of Thrones was on. Game of Thrones would have random people on. Fucking Aaron Rodgers was on one of the episodes. I mean, they would have all kinds of like celebrity cameos on through the show. So, I'm not surprised. I expected to see more celebrity cameos through the show.
Most of the comedians he's had on are pretty nerdy too. Like especially Richard. I want to say Bill Burr is a notable Star Wars fan. I imagine he'd have to be on the fucking show, but
yeah, I imagine
and get that position. So I feel like I've heard him talk about Star Wars before. So maybe. So anyway, we'll jump back into it. Is they land and he actually kind of names his ship the Cresta. And they talk about getting a job because Mando, I guess, needs some fucking money. And Rand's an old friend of his. Says, "All right, you'll get a job." They mentioned a couple things in the beginning, like, the policy is, hey, there's no fucking questions. We don't go on this whole shit. And basically, they say, "All right, the job's a jailbreak." And then we meet all these different characters, and they start coming in.
I like how the whole, the policies, no questions asked kind of reminds me of the guilds, no questions. It's, that's kind of the whole.
I've noticed that.
Right
I actually had to look that back up because I noticed that, like, the Bounty Hunters Guild was kind of one of the things where it was like no questions. And I had to look that back up and make sure that was the exact kind of quote because it was kind of weird that was all. Am I making sense? It's all kind of matching up to. That seems like the Galaxy's motto: "Don't ask questions about anything."
Especially like the Outer Rim.
Do your job, keep your head down,
and shut the fuck up.
Do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, kind of thing.
Yeah, especially you get in those outlying worlds, and the outlying worlds kind of just don't have any they're lawless. So, you got to think of this kind of a gangster mentality, and that's where you would think that kind of from.
Yeah.
So, we did find out in there that the character Bill Burr plays, Mayfield, he was a former Imperial sharpshooter, and they even make tons of jokes and little jabs about the Star Wars series in this. But he says, "I wasn't a trooper, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I can fucking shoot.
I wasn't a Starship Trooper, dumbass.
Yeah.
Or no, I wasn't I'm not Starship Trooper. I wasn't a Stormtrooper, dumbass, is I believe what was said.
Mm-hmm. And it was funny because one of his guns is robotic anyway, so it's not like he was even shooting.
Dude, that fucking gun is cool as shit, though.
It was, though. The first time he used it.
I love that
I did
gun.
think it was funny because there's, later on, we'll talk about this, I'm sure, but there was a scene where he, sees 3 droids, and he shoots them, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. I'm like, you were a sharpshooter. That should have been, one shot of each.
Should have been 3 headshots.
And so then just kind of as everything goes, it seems like they kind of talked up his character more than he deserved.
For a sharpshooter, he did shoot a lot of fucking random ass shots.
Yeah, especially in the first scene, in that first battle scene there.
Yeah, I actually watched it, looked at it. I'm like, he hit fucking 3 different points that didn't make any goddamn sense.
I did like the fact of them bringing these extra characters on though, because I can imagine that there are people in the galaxy that kind of want to fuck you over, and that's in the very first episode. That kind of in the very first beginning of this episode, that's kind of what it seemed like.
Yeah, I like how they're bringing that seedy part more to the foreground. That it's usually you didn't see that except for into stuff like the Clovers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's great that they're bringing that more to live action. So basically, and Mando's kind of weird about this job, especially in the beginning, because they start talking about a fortified transport that they got to go get somebody from, and then it's more information. information. Oh, this is a New Republic ship. It's like a maximum security fucking prison. Like, this is a really bad fucking idea. And Mando's like, I don't like that. So they're like, whatever, don't be a pussy. You know,
That's pretty much what it sounded like.
Isn't that the general feel of it?
That's pretty much what it sounded like. Don't be a pussy. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Like Mando seemed to be like uncomfortable from the get go. Like
Yeah,
there
very.
were some like things that like they said to him that he didn't respond to. I'm like, I feel like it should have just kind of been like a throwaway line or something. So him to not say anything, it was just very. You could tell that he was awkward through this entire thing.
I'm sure this is a bad environment. He knows that, especially because he started there for a long time and then kind of grew up and was like, yeah, all right, I got my own fucking code. And they make fun of him for it quite a bit.
So I don't know if you guys discussed this in the other podcast, last week's podcast, but I finally understand why Mando doesn't like droids.
Oh, that's my next line.
Yeah, I think
you explain to me why you think that.
We talked about it a little bit last week, but yeah, let me hear your statement.
It finally clicked for me because in episode 4 or whatever, when the armor is making his armor, they did the flashback from when he was a kid, and the battle droids killed his people. So obviously, droids kill your family. You don't like droids.
That makes sense. Actually,
it makes a lot of sense. It might make too much sense.
It could, but for me, it was just like, oh, it makes sense why he doesn't like droids. Droids killed his family. Droids can't be trusted.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's just an obvious answer, and then I'm like, I don't like it. But
I wonder if
I'm a Star Wars fan, so I don't like anything.
I wonder if we're actually going to get like real information about that, kind of like the whole why he doesn't take his helmet, which we've kind of already got that. But
I feel like we're building it.
Yeah, we're
like fucking 4 times in this whole thing about. I mean, this is a lot less than that. It was like 2 or 3, but of his hate for droids,
right,
is mentioned.
Well,
in this
if you think about it, in the first episode, he teams up with IG-11, no problems. Yeah. But that was because he was part of the Bounty Hunters Guild. He knew him, like he could be trusted. And all these people, all these droids you don't know, it's kind of like, no, like I don't fucking know you, get away from me. So, I don't know. It might be too simple of an answer, but that's kind of where it finally clicked for me this episode, and I was very happy with that answer. So,
it's a good obvious answer that I didn't even fucking think of.
No, I didn't really think of that either, honestly, until you just said that, and then I'm like, okay, well, you know what? That makes a lot of fucking sense. I actually had no answer for that question at all, because I still don't understand why you hated droids until you said something right there.
I honestly hope it's something more than that, to be honest with you. I hope there's something more to it that, like, I mean, what if he got taken prisoner or something like that, and they tortured him, or I don't know, just all sorts of different things. I mean, there's, yeah, just something, but it is what it is. I mean, that makes the most obvious sense, and I applaud you for coming up with that, because I certainly did not. And it's just so logical. Yeah, where were we at? We were talking about, they're going over the mission plans. So yeah, they mention, he mentions his hate for droids there. The ship's kind of off the grid.
They need Mando's ship to get up close so they can pull everything.
That's where I was going. Yeah. They didn't even. He even kind of said it like, "Oh, we don't even really need Mando." They have this whole little back and forth with the female Twi'lek. They have a past. All this other bullshit. It's really awkward and sexual.
Yeah, you can tell. Oh, you can definitely tell it's very awkward and sexual.
Yeah, even Bill Burr makes a little fucking joke about it. Like, you need to get a fucking whatever he says. One of the things I do like is maybe I don't remember which part of this might be wrong, but he does make a reference to Gungans, and he does a fucking joke.
Yes, you're right.
Later in the ship.
Yes, because I found that super funny when he said, Misa. He said, Misa. What did he say? Fuck.
I have it written down here. Let me see. He said, damn, fucking.
Misa, no, take the helmet off or something.
You said don't want to show your face.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I was like, oh, boy, that's a Jar Jar drop right there.
Yeah. You know what? The best part was everybody knows. Everybody understood the joke there in that room.
Yeah.
Which just shows everybody thinks that knows what Gungans are and think they're a fucking joke. Period.
Fucking Gungans.
Story. So it gets a little weird down in the ship while they're heading over to the space station. They kind of get a little arguing and so forth. Big Red there has a little tussle with our Mandalorian friend, and there goes, they kind of bump into a little pad, and there goes the door, and they guess who's there? Yodeling, little Yodeling standing there, looking all cute and stuff. Bill Burr even like picks him up and starts calling it a fucking pet and all the other shit.
Mm.
He picks him up.
It's funny because he looked at it and he talks to Mando in the Twilight. He's like, "Oh, did you make that?"
Yeah,
that was funny.
That was fucking.
So definitely a lot of sexual tension going on there.
That was fucking ugly.
The bad part. The thing was like he could tell there was sexual tension. It's not because it's not hard to tell there's sexual tension in that.
Well, that, and even because I think Bill Burr asked her, asked the Twilight if she'd ever seen her face, and she said, a lady never tells. So it was kind of like, I wouldn't assume so. He's very strict by the
I was
book.
Gonna say he's very strict about that.
I want to Photoshop the two of them with him, like him on top of her, and just have a Mando helmet still on.
Just butt ass naked, just the helmet.
Butt ass naked, but with the helmet on.
But if you guys think last episode, he did take his helmet off to eat in close vicinity of a bunch of kids.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we discussed that. It was fucking.
That was a little like.
It was weird. It was weird how it happened in front of.
See you.
Yeah,
like they can definitely see you, dude.
So, like, what is the, is it an enemy see your face that caused you to not be able to put it back on, or is it just anyone see your face?
I think it's definitely anyone can't see his face, but I don't know. I'm still thinking he's got his helmet on for sex. Just saying. He's just rocking it. Whatever.
He has a Beskar appendage.
Flow. Oh, Jesus.
He sticks his vibroblade in there and...
Just gonna round it out a little bit. No worries.
There you go.
Just let the vibro blade just sit there and vibe on the clitoris. Just vibe on it.
It's Star Wars porn now. That's good.
Star Wars porn. Well, go look on Pornhub, man. Did you not see my Pornhub statistics that I posted? Did you not see my Pornhub statistics that I posted on ADHD Gamer the other day?
Dude, I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? This is Pornhub statistics. He's a fucking moron. I love him.
The PS Vita still lives.
According to Pornhub, it's the most searched thing on Pornhub.
No,
why are people using Pornhub to search for shit? I'm just asking.
I don't know. They're using. What was the first one? The first one was PS4, and then the Xbox One, and then the PS Vita was the third. Like 9% of people use the PS Vita, which the PS Vita is dead, but it's funny. It's just a funny joke. All right, go ahead with your stuff.
It was good.
Where are we at?
So after this little tussle and stuff, little Yoda he falls. It's so sad.
I know, and I didn't like it. I didn't like his little coup when he fell. I was like, oh,
fuck that coup, you little bastards,
you little fucker. I love you.
Well, I love when he falls, like Mando immediately picks him up and goes and puts him back in his room.
You can definitely.
But he was trying to play cool about it.
Yeah, he was going.
He's like, oh yeah, I'll just pick him up.
And you can definitely tell that Mando's getting that dad vibe. Like he's starting to.
It's amazing how in a full suit of armor you see all these fucking feelings coming out of him.
Yeah, you do. Even in armor, yes.
Yeah, like can't see the motherfucker's face, but you know he's super worried about fucking yodeling, but trying not to make it seem like it is. All with body shape and shit. So I think that's, I mean, Pedro Pascal, you're fucking awesome. That's all you're fucking doing, just with body language. So they arrive at the maximum security place. They do a little fandangle, block them and jam them from detecting their approach. They use Zero to make that happen because he's a fucking droid and can do it a lot faster than everybody else. And they make contact with the ship and they jump in through a hatch. There's a lot of cool fights in this fucking episode, I think. I'm getting ahead of myself, but there's a lot of cool fights in this episode. I like how Miss Twi'lek there, she fucking comes out and she's just got these fucking knives. I just look like, what the fuck are you gonna... We know the whole ship's full of fucking droids. We know the whole ship's full of droids. What are you gonna do with that thing? I mean, we see what she does with that fucking thing, though, like later. So, but that was my first thought. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Did anybody feel that?
Bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah.
Bring a knife to a droid fucking laser fight. Dude, I'm just telling you. So we see.
Real quick, when Bill Burr, they're all standing around the hatch fixing to go in, Bill Burr looks at the Twi'lek and the other guy, and he's like, "Oh, is it me?" And they're like, "Oh, it's always you." That felt awkward in and of itself, the interactions between him and the other characters. And then, then he looks down and makes sure everything's clear before it goes down. But, for this guy supposed to be the commander of the mission, he seemed very unsure of himself through this entire ordeal. And it was weird.
I kind of got the impression in the beginning, because of the way his behavior was, he's trying to fucking prove something, or he's acting like a weird fucking asshole. I don't know. It was just weird, his presence. So I kind of got a vibe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of new fucking droids in this episode. I didn't have time to look up the names of any of these droids or anything like that, or what model types are, because I haven't really seen them too much, if at all. We did see the little mouse droid come in there, and he played a little part. That was cool. Just a ode to the originals. So we see Mando come up and just take this fucking droid out from behind with a fucking knife.
Take him from behind, attaboy, Mando.
They kill off the little mouse droid, and then they get cornered by it was 3 or 4.
Hold on. Bill Burr and them did not want to take the mouse droid out. He even said it when it happened. He's like, what's the red guy's name? What was the big buff dude? Berg. He even said, he's like, God no. He's like, no, Berg, wait, and then Berg just shot. And because I think that even Bill Burr's character knew that there were droids. There were security droids.
Yep. So the security droids come and they surround them and everything, and then they're just getting their ass handed to them. And then Bill Burr looks back and doesn't see Mando, and he's like, "Oh, I fucking knew it." He abandoned us or whatever. And then Mando comes up and he's a complete fucking badass.
Oh, he slaughters them motherfuckers in a really badass way.
Yeah, and you know what pissed me off about this scene is when that happened, and Bill Burr comes up and he's like, "Don't forget to clean your mess." The first thing I think is the first thing I think about is motherfucker, I ain't cleaning shit. I just saved your life, and I will fucking kill you too.
Who's cleaning up what in that whole situation? At all.
Technically, y'all bitches sat here and shot 25,000 shots because you're a good sharpshooter, and I just fucking killed all these bitches.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Dude, when he stabs that one fucking droid, gets into the little fucking fight, and then rips the blade out of the other droid and nails the other one, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that fight scene was one of the better fight scenes of the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed that fight.
So did I.
Showed off how badass fucking Mando is. And I like how the flamethrower in this episode worked sometimes. I don't know.
But I liked how like it shows the difference between Mando and the other ones. It was kind of setting up something later on in the episode. So it definitely it worked. He comes out, he takes out all these, and they're kind of hiding behind him and not helping him. It just shows how much better Mando is compared to other bounty hunters.
Right. Because Mandalorian is supposed to be the bravest and the best warriors in the galaxy. So and he just perfectly proved that and showed that to them.
Yep.
It definitely showed he ain't no fucking bullshit. When
I ain't no bitch.
Even Bill Burr and them's like, why do we fucking need him? That's why.
That's why you would have just fucking died if I wasn't here, buddy.
Exactly.
Because I handle shit.
I handle my shit. So after that nice little scene, they kind of move on and they go to the control room. And what a surprise, they find a fucking human. It's this poor Republic guard in this
I feel so bad for
really
this kid.
old ass looking. It's the original garb for like a Republic commando. Like it looks shitty, just like it did from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And
they make fun of it.
Kind of a little bit. But in reality, that's the way he should be looking.
His shoes match his belt.
His shiny ass fucking belt.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
This guy's name was Davin. And they were looking
fact about Davin.
Oh,
Davin,
damn, you beat me,
Matt Lanter.
motherfucker. He's the same guy who did the voice of Anakin Skywalker.
Yes,
in the Clone Wars.
In the Clone Wars.
Oh, you motherfucker. So they have like this big old thing in it.
It was so, like, Mando tried so hard to save this kid's life.
I know.
Like,
which also explains who Mando is. Like, he's trying,
No unwanted bloodshed. He wasn't getting paid to kill that guy. And that's kind of where I felt like he has no problem taking people in, dead alive, hot, cold, but not his job. He doesn't want it. He does no unnecessary violence, basically.
I wonder if this is more of like, is this the same way he was before? Or is this something that he's kind of developing now where he's like, nah, I don't want to kill an innocent fucking person?
I don't know.
In the first scene, the first bar fight, he didn't engage until they started fucking with him. Like fucked with his armor and like messing with him. Then he fucked people over.
You're talking about in the very first scene of the show, right?
Yeah, the very first part. Right?
Yeah.
You can say that, but I don't think that necessarily relates to the other. I mean, it can, but just because he's like, fuck it, I ain't getting involved until you my ass in doesn't mean I'm gonna kill somebody to finish my mission kind of thing.
Right.
So I don't know. I think he's got a lot. He's got a code to himself. Growing. Yeah. Oh, he's growing for fucking sure. So yeah, that whole thing goes down, and then they end up fucking killing that poor bastard. Even though Mando really tried to fucking fight that shit, and everybody's like, "Well, I don't know why you're getting all fucking bent out of shape, basically."
And then Twilight just goes ahead.
And what's the Twilight's name in this? I never got her name the whole time in that show.
Something like that.
XI''AN.
Zion? Sheehan? Sheehan? I think it's Sheehan.
Sheehan.
I think it's Sheehan.
That's how it's pronounced, just Sheehan.
Yeah, Sheehan.
Before they kill this fucking bastard, he holds up this goddamn tracking device that basically alerts the fucking Republic and says, hey, come and destroy this goddamn ship because it's being taken over or whatever. Well,
I thought it was more like a dead man switch, like set off and like blow up the ship. Like the way that they were kind of like, oh, not of you press this button, we have 25 minutes.
He didn't have his fucking finger on.
I know, but that's kind of what I was getting is that whole you kill me, I immediately put the ship. So I felt like there was a little bit of for as much as Bill Burr was freaking out.
Well, Bill Burr fucking knows. I mean, when they say what that is, Bill Burr knows what it is. If that motherfucker pushes that button, they're going to be dead quick. And it is a tracking device. It, like, sends out a fucking beacon so that they can come and like take the shit out.
Yeah.
So I mean, they know what it is, and obviously they're scared because they're not gonna have time to complete their shit. And guess what happens? They kill that motherfucker and find out that he pushed that damn button. And it was it beeping before? Was it beeping like that?
Oh yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it with the lights on?
I don't know.
I had to think about it. I was like, what part? I was like, no, I remember that. Yeah, because the beacon, because when he held the beacon up, it wasn't flashing, and then when he died, they thought they got away with it. Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So this is the time to fucking speed shit up. So they start hauling ass, and that big red mofo takes a droid, picks it up, and fucking throws it into another goddamn droid. And you're like, shit.
That was the muscle.
That was the muscle. That's
That
what
was
I
the
wrote
muscle.
down as him. in the
That was the
beginning.
muscle they talked about.
Yeah. Dude, I'm like, what is this guy doing? Oh, damn. Like, you straight up bashed a droid with another droid. I beat up a human with another fucking human. That's the same damn thing. That's some Superman shit. So they go on and they go to this prison cell. They start unlocking it. And it turns out that it's the Twilight Girl Shion's brother, Quinn. Which Mando immediately starts kind of losing his shit, like, what's going on here? Because obviously they reveal that their previous mission, that last mission that they worked with together, this prisoner Quinn ended up going to prison because of actions that Mando did. I guess they left him behind. Immediately, guess what happens? Double cross. I mean,
I felt like
knew
I seen that coming.
It still pissed me.
Yeah.
It was coming, it still pissed me off.
with the tensions that were going on the whole time, and everybody was being fucking snarky with him, I'm like, yeah,
it's gonna happen.
That was coming.
It's gonna happen.
He was gonna come somewhere. Somebody's gonna try to kill Mando. That always happens during some fucking heist. Every time there's always a goddamn betrayal. But I did like his escape though. That was kind of interesting. I'm like, there's no way this mofo can get. They're gonna do something stupid. They didn't. They fucking grapple hooked that damn droid and ripped his damn arm off. Although I don't know. Which was
crazy.
Exactly
there was a bunch of oil came everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
A bunch of oil come just everywhere.
This is fucking violent.
Jesus, is that blood or is that oil?
He uses a little insert to open the door.
Ooh, little insert, huh?
Yeah, he puts that little insert in there and takes it right out. He escapes.
I like that. I like it when you put the insert in there.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty awesome.
It is.
So Mando's like, well, fuck these mofos, and starts screwing with shit. He like drops the door and separates them, and then he gets like the power out, all this other different stuff. And all at the same time, Zero is like trying to decode a message from Gref Karga, like just snooping through Mando's shit, and decodes the message and was like, oh, let me go look at this little fucking thing out here, and starts looking for the yodeling after he figures that shit out. So then they go through all this different stuff. These guys are getting taken out by Mando here and there. Even Bill Burr's
complete badass.
Like legit, like all of a sudden he's fucking behind these people and just taking their ass.
The whole Bill Burr thing, it was great.
Oh my god, that whole scene I loved.
The lights would come up and up and down, and one light he was there. The next time it went back up, he was gone, and then he was there. Then and all of a sudden he just turned around and he was just there. Oh my god! Like, dude, it just shows how powerful and awesome he is.
When he fucking closed the door on Berg, I fucking lost my shit. Like, I lost my shit on that. And then he closed the door on him a second time. Like, that was fucking hilarious. I'm like, I hoped he had died at that point when the first door came on him, and then he's just standing like, oh, this is bullshit.
The only thing that was really weird so they showed the whole fight scene with Berg, but then they didn't show the fight scene with Sheehan. Like, they didn't show that. They pretty much just showed, him wrapping her up and putting her in, I don't want to say put her in a chokehold. What did we see? We seen them two put knives to each other's throat, or, whatever it was. And then with Bill Burr, they didn't really show a fight scene. They just kind of showed him like predatoring him, basically predatoring or alienating him, should I say, stalking him, should I say, which was a cool ass scene. The scene was awesome. But it was weird because they only showed the Berg scene. Like, I figured they were going to show him fighting Bill Burr and beating the shit out of Bill Burr because of the shit that he did, the shit that he was saying.
Well, I think it just shows how much of a pussy Bill Burr actually was. But if we go back to the Berg fight, one thing we got to see again was the whistling birds.
Yeah. Yes, we did get to see the whistling birds, which was a waste because that was a waste of fucking Beskar.
Exactly, and that was kind of like from when he fought the stormtroopers at the Client's base, like it was like boom, dead, like awesome, and now it's kind of like
Well, it was like the same thing with Burger, like when he shot him with that flamethrower. That flamethrower didn't do a goddamn thing to Burger.
No, he just walked through it. So it was
kind
of a waste of shit.
Is it just me, or when y'all first seen Berg, did you think of Hellboy?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not the only one. Okay. All right. Okay.
Dude, he even used that flamethrower again. Fucking.
That bitch uses that flamethrower all the time. I feel like it's every episode we talk about him and this goddamn flamethrower.
Never fucking works.
Well, he always uses it. But if you go and watch the episodes, like, he only has so many weapons at his disposal. He's got his blaster, he's got his rifle, he's got his grappling hook, his flamethrower, and his vibroblade, and that's really it. So he has to figure out how to make all those 5 weapons work for whatever situation he needs, and he normally does a really good job at it.
Yeah, he does.
He fucking sucks at that flamethrower, but. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I think there's only one other time, twice in this show that I can remember right now. Once in this episode when he blasts a fucking droid, and then there's another episode where he uses it, and I just had it in my brain what happened, but it's gone now. But there was one other time where the flamethrower worked. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's when he was in the Client's base and he cooked a stormtrooper.
He cooked a stormtrooper, yeah.
Twice out of every episode where he's used it, like once or twice in every episode. I'm just saying. I'm a little bitter about it. So after he starts taking all these people out, he kind of comes into this one confrontation with Quinn, the prisoner. And he just starts spinning fucking webs on him, like, don't worry, we can make a bargain. We can make this happen. You'll get triple the reward, blah, 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 blah. Well, we all know what Mando does. He's like, fuck it, you're coming with me. Which was interesting when they left to find out that he didn't kill them, any of those other characters.
No, he just put them in a
fucking cell. That was, he said they got what they deserve. But then, honestly, I didn't even know that he took Quinn with him until he gets back to the big ship.
True.
Because, after, he makes that deal with Quinn, he goes up, and that's when Zero is, looking for the yodeling, finds him,
and he shoots Zero in the back.
Which is fucking hilarious, though. When Yoda holds up his hand through the Force, and then he shoots him, and he's like, fuck, did I just do that with my hand?
That was a good scene. Did I do that?
Damn. I am badass. That's fucking great.
And then Mando comes out.
Yeah, and that hole in that bitch's head was fucking great too. There was a lot of cool fucking damage in this episode.
There was.
So kills Zero and then makes his way back to the big ship.
Yeah,
and
we didn't know there was a double cross coming this way. You were fucking blind.
Yeah. But it was awesome that he took Quinn with him, because, like I said, I didn't think he did. I thought he probably just killed him and left him there, Hate or not, I've already been double-crossed, kind of just, kill you, get on my ship, and not look back.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool that he went back and did what he did, so.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that, and I feel like Is there a reference to those? I don't think there is. There's not a reference to those Twilight characters in any other iteration.
Not that I knew of.
But there's like stuff that's familiar.
You would know better than I. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there is. But yeah. Anyway, that I'm just interested to see, because I feel like there's definitely going to be some more of some of those other characters.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the line. So like you said, he gets back on that ship and he goes to give the prisoner over, and they have their little fucking talk. He gives him the money. Mando gets back.
At least he got paid.
Yeah, at least that dude got paid, because you gotta feed Baby Yoda.
Yep.
You gotta feed
do what
Baby
you gotta
Yoda.
do when you're a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, you don't even understand, Adam.
I like
the shit you do for these kids.
Those little bastards.
Little assholes.
I like how they brought back the whole no questions when he says, "Where's the rest of the fucking crew?"
Yeah,
like,
I loved that.
There was no questions.
I love how Filoni fucking, he fills all these plot holes before they fucking happen. Because every time that shit happens, I think, man, there's going to be a plot hole. There would have been a plot hole there where, like, why did this fucking happen? Oh, nope, he set it up in the beginning. Can't even ask that question anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He, like, does a great job of that.
Because I was really expecting the first thing, as soon as he stepped off the ship, where the fuck is everybody else at? You know, he didn't really care. It was just like, all right, well, you brought me this person.
Yeah, F them. Bastards. So, at that point, it's done. They take off, and he's like, all right, kill him. And he starts bringing out a fighter, I don't even know what to call it. A ship.
It looks like a little small fighter.
Yeah, it's a small fighter ship to go fucking destroy Mando's. Well, Mando decided to sneak that little fucking tracker onto the ship, and guess what? Some X-Wings just... And they ignore his ship. They ignore the Cresta. They just fly right past him. That was crazy to me. But we got to see X-Wings, so...
Yeah, and I'm
okay with it.
I'm pretty sure that was probably my favorite part of the episode, because I love X-Wings, and when I got to see it, it was like, oh yes, I love this. This is so amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, dude. And I like how they kind of did the old, like, got into the cockpit camera view to go see them.
I love that they use that. I love that they use that cockpit view, whatever you want to call it.
Dude,
I was wondering if we were gonna see somebody from one of the movies, because this takes place, after.
Well,
6?
Most of the characters there are one's the female director that did the show, did one of the episodes of The Mandalorian. Another one was the creator or the director of Clone Wars and Rebels, something like that. I don't know if creator, maybe director. I think it's the black gentleman that's in there. So some of them have references, and I think Filoni even had a voice part in this as well, but I can't remember what it is, honestly.
Well, I'm just wondering if they're going to set up any, like, because this takes place before the sequels, if they're going to bring, kind of set up, just here, Poe Dameron, was a whatever, whatever he actually was, because whatever the actor's name says that, Poe doesn't have a clean past or whatever. So this could be a great way of setting up some stuff for future movies and just answering questions from older movies.
I would say maybe even answering some questions from maybe stuff we've already seen but had questions about, maybe. Kind of like that. Yeah, that Poe Dameron thing's kind of weird, because I always wonder about that. Because what did we watch the other day? We watched it at work. We watched the what was the first one? Force Awakens. Force Awakens was the first new one of the trilogy. Okay, Force Awakens. And when you hear him talk about how the clean past and everything, it's kind of like, well, I've already watched Last Jedi, and none of that was really brought up. So I wonder if it's going to get brought up in Rise of Skywalker. You know, it's kind of one of the things that I think the Poe Dameron thing kind of is kind of weird. That and Snoke have always kind of annoyed me because Snoke, I've explained this multiple times. I think Snoke should have got more of a backstory. But anyway, back to Mandalorian. Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing is we might get some Snoke in the Mandalorian. Maybe Yoda. They wanted his DNA to clone something, and it turned out to be fucked up and turned out to be Snoke.
Maybe they're trying to make a body for the Emperor.
Right. Yeah. So okay, that could make sense.
That's why Snoke's so ugly.
Right.
He's half human, half Yoda.
Half human, half Yoda, and the Emperor tried to possess him, and that fucked him up. Like
that would be some shit, wouldn't it?
Puzzle right now. I'm just saying.
If we just crack this puzzle, I swear to God, I'm posting this one day. I'm gonna take this clip right here and post it one day and say, "We said this shit. Fuck all y'all."
On December 15th, 2019, not 2009.
At 2:57 in the morning.
It was said.
I'm not proud of this right now. I am delirious.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Dude, that would be fucking cool. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Darth Maul in the Mandalorian. We
have 2 episodes left. I will tell you that Cara Dune is in the next 2 episodes. That I know.
Fantastic.
I know Cara Dune is in the next 2 episodes. I know that for sure.
Is Darth Maul still in control during this period?
Darth Maul's dead.
Dead.
Darth Maul's dead at this point. Yeah, he's dead at this point.
Darth Maul died before episode 4.
Before episode 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that was an actual thing.
It takes place towards the end of Rebels.
Right.
Because Darth Maul tracks Obi-Wan to Tatooine and.
Okay, so that's not in the timeline right now.
Commenced to have one of the greatest lightsaber duels of all time. I love that fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul and Rebels.
I need to go watch Rebels. I have not watched it.
Well, wait till you get to Ahsoka's fight.
I won't get to Ahsoka's fight because it's going to tear me up now. I'm going to watch it and I'll be like, yep, nope, Jonathan told me. Skip.
Dude, legit, like my eyes started watering up this episode when that episode came.
Oh, God.
And it wasn't because if anybody died or anything. It was just like jarring because I can't say it because I'll
I'll watch Rebels. I'm almost finished with Clone Wars, so I'll watch Rebels.
Yeah, okay, good. Then hop right into Rebels.
I will. I'll hop right into Rebels.
You're gonna fucking call me and be like, dude.
Mid-season, beginning of season, end of season.
It's like early on in season 2, mid-season, I think. Or, well, I don't know.
Is season 1 of Rebels good?
Is
it
not
slow?
bad.
Is it gonna like pull me in, or is it gonna be slow?
There's slow episodes.
Because Clone Wars episodes kill me, man. Like some of them, I'm like, why in the fuck are you here? You know,
there are a lot of episodes of Clone Wars that you're like, holy shit, why?
Like so much filler. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Gentlemen,
but no, there's a lot of good stuff.
Okay.
Real quick, there was at the very end of the episode that with Baby Yoda flying away. It was so cute because they're flying away and Mando just reaches up, takes off that little ball and hands it to him.
I told you this was a bad idea.
It was great. I was really hoping that Mando was just gonna like toss it over his shoulder and Yoda was gonna force it.
Yeah, that would have been great. I was hoping though. I was actually thinking he was going to like turn around and just toss it to him like a little kid, just like here, you little bastard, take this. I told you it's a bad idea, but you can see more and more his dad, his parent coming out of him. Like just the more episodes they pulled in. I want you guys to understand too that this week I went back and watched clips of Pedro Pascal in Game of Thrones, and if I did not know that the Mandalorian was already Pedro Pascal, I would not know. His voice is totally different. I mean, he's totally, accent and everything is totally different, so it's so hard to tell it's him.
Well, his accent in Game of Thrones isn't anything what his normal fucking accent.
Right, it's not. I mean, and that's actors. Actors can do that shit like on fucking cue. You know, it's kind of like who plays Thor? What's his name?
Liam Hemsworth or
No, it's not Liam. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth is normally British, and that bitch can switch his shit like no. Or Idris Elba. Idris Elba is another crazy motherfucker that can switch his shit like that.
The fucking Wire, man. The fucking
Dude,
Wire.
I love that. I love that dude. All right, gentlemen. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Podalorian. Anything else you guys want to say before I start plugging and getting us away here so we can get a little bit of sleep?
No.
Okay. Adam, anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, like we said, this is the Podalorian. ADHD Gamer presents the Podalorian. You can find us on all audio podcast services. ADHD Gamer podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure to check us out. Like, rate, please leave us some comments and let us know what you guys think about the show and if you're enjoying it. We'll be back to talk about episode 7 next week and then episode 8 the week after. We already have spoiled ourselves and we know that Cara Dune is in both of those episodes, so I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit about that. So if you guys don't have anything else, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Thanks everybody for listening, and please, like I said, rate and let us know what you think. Everybody, it's been wonderful talking to you guys. Jonathan, Adam, it's been wonderful talking to you two gentlemen. And we will... It fucking better be. All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all later. Good night.
Later, y'all.
Later.
May the force be with you.
That was very corny.
Always.
I'm going to do it every time now.
That was almost as corny as the Podalorians. But I'll take it.
Real quick.
Oh, God.
See you later, Podalorians.
Chapter 7 comes out on Wednesday, not Friday.
What? They're dropping on Wednesday?
Really? Oh, Jesus Christ.
So are they dropping one on Wednesday and one on Friday, or are they dropping just one on Wednesday?
Is that going to be like the season finale shit?
I know that the season ends on the 27th.
Episode 7 is on a Wednesday this week, is likely due to the release timing of Skywalker. Blah, blah, blah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, are they reaching it all for Skywalker?
So when is... One's Wednesday, one's Friday?
No, one's Wednesday, and the next one's not till the 27th. So
yeah, that's
Mandalorian early, so Mandalorian, Rise of Skywalker, and then that next Friday.
I wonder if something happens in this next episode that's going to happen in Rise of Skywalker.
I hope so.
I'm wondering if that's why they did that. That would make some sense for them to move that up that far. I wonder why. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get out of here. Thanks, guys. Thank y'all for listening, and thank y'all for, of course, joining along and talking. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Peace.
Later, Podalorians.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.